Hey guys, Jameson DIY, here with a toolbox tour of some sorts. I know toolbox tours can ramble on forever, and I also ramble on forever. So I'm gonna try and get through this as fast as possible. It's a Snap-on KRL1023, 23 for the number of drawers, KRL for very cruel toolbox. I don't love this toolbox. I like it a lot, but I don't like is all the skinny drawers that it has. You can get drawers of your liking if you want. Like say, we could pull these two drawers out and then replace it with one larger drawer if we want. Snap-on is very proud of those drawers, and I don't know exactly what I would want to switch anyway. So for now, they all are as they are. I've had this box for about 2 years. I bought it on Craigslist used for $4,000. This is like a $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 box plus tax plus finance charges. This top I bought separate for $1,000. This is the stainless steel non-power top for this box. Other than that, the box is 72 inches long, which seems big, but is not as big as you think, and it fills up pretty fast. So let's get started, because the video already feels like it's going to be very long. Okay, looking at the top drawer here, most people have it filled with sockets. I have it only half filled with sockets because I don't feel the need to fill up the whole top drawer with sockets. So we've got our basic sockets here that we don't use every day. Some Flexi E-Torx, spline Flexi. We've got SAE sizes. And then back here, some more that I use a little more often, a lot more of the big impacts, you know, some sensor sockets, spark plug sockets, things like that. Over here, we've got some other various things. We've got Allen sockets over here. We got some Torx sockets, some more inverted Torx sockets, some triple squares back there, I think, and some other random things. We've got some very long Torx here. We've got the food, which is very important. Laptop, also very important. Got some flexible magnetic spark plug sockets here. Some extra parts here that I'm saving for something, I don't remember what. We've got our Genius Boost here. Something, it's not extra, I don't know. This thing that never gets used, air tool oil. And, we got some Napa great little crow's feet. Man, I couldn't think of the word. Crow's feet. We've got some torque sticks down there for the torque goodness. Let's move down to the next big one. This is kind of miscellaneous because of the size of it. So there's no real organization here. Just kind of stuff where it goes. A little organization. We've got some brake tools here. We've got tapes. So that's all together. Some quick to connect tools. A brake caliper. Measuring micrometer there, so we do have some organization. Rear axle pullers for slide hammers. We got the pry bar section here, as well as long breaker bars and crap. Pulley pullers, some Triton spark plug broken things. Back here is a torque wrench section. So we've got a big 1/2 inch tech angle. We've got a 3/8 gear wrench. We have a 3/8 tech angle, and then we have a 1/4 inch gear wrench. There's some oil changer stuff for whenever we have to do that. Let's move on down here. This is the Ratchet / socket extension adapter drawer. I'd say it pretty well speaks for itself. This is another miscellaneous drawer with some organization here. We've got extra long screwdrivers that don't get used very often. Allen keys that don't get used very often, you know, some blowers, a stethoscope, some little rounded bolt removers, that's what that is as well. Some stretch belt tools, which never work. The real stretch belt tool is zip ties or baling wire. We've got some oil filter wrenches back there, as well as some suction cups for doing window regulators and things. This is the electrical repair drawer. I'd say it pretty well speaks for itself. Got all our butt connectors, splices, butt connectors, heat shrink fuses, butt connectors, electrical tape, and various tools, as well as zip ties. Got some boom solder there. This is the air/cutting and other things drawer. So got the Big Nasty. Well, this is a not exactly Big Nasty, it's Chicago Pneumatic, but it's basically the same thing as Big Nasty. And all our air hammer bits, as well as some drills and butane and lubricants and impact thingies, and yep. Okay, here on the big deep drawer, this is kind of just lubricants and things that I have to stash here so that the lube techs don't steal them. So we've got some rags and brake clean and, you know, various lubricants, as well as my earmuffs and some funnels and bearing packer and some map gas, and there's the stretch belt tool right there, the baling wire. That's normally what I use that for. And that pretty much sums up that drawer. Let's move on to the first skinny drawer here. Below the big drawers is just pliers, mostly pliers that don't get used a whole lot. Some of them do, but most of the ones that I use most often are in my tool cart. So these are the extras. This is the best drawer ever, as you can see by how full it is. That is a timing kit for Chevy Cruze or something like that. I don't know. Chevy Sonic. Got the wrench drawer, or one of the wrench drawers. This is the ones that I use sort of the most. We'll just say they're the smaller wrenches. So we've got backups here of these Mountain Easy Red wrenches because they break all the time. So these are my backups. Some of those are already broken. We've got a Snap-on SAE Flank Drive Plus. We've got other randoms. We've got a Flank Drive Plus metric, as well as some randoms and some more Flank Drive Plus. Got some inverted Torx wrenches, ratchet wrenches, line wrenches, stubby wrenches, various tiny wrench things. All right, so some big cases, plus some socket rails that I'm not using at the moment. But we have our leakage tester. We've got some rear disc brake caliper tool there. We've got a hydraulic crimper. Got a really nice pulley puller. We've got another rear brake caliper tool set, because it has some pieces here that this one is gear wrench, I think, maybe. And then we have the OTC compression tester. All right, let's move down to kind of an electrical and diag drawer. We've got power probe and some test lights and, you know, some amp loops and different things like that in here for electrical testing. We've got a master relay kit from Lyle, which is pretty cool. Don't get to use it that often, but it is super cool when you need it. Some things, some wires. This is my kind of little probing kit, and got a bunch of little jumpers and all that stuff in there. Got my super nice Klein, a $60 meter that I've had for like a million years. Bunch of different alligator clips for making my own jumpers. We've got the you know, test lights and back probes and jumpers and light bulbs and all kinds of cool little things in there. We've got a amp clamp and then power probe soldering kit / torch, as well as various wires. Back here we have a storage of wires, and one of these is, I think, like ignition wires, like spark plug wires, extra ones, and some coils, some extra test coils and stuff like that, you know, testing stuff. Down here in the bottom drawer, we have big stuff, cases that I just didn't want to get rid of because things would have been in disarray. Fuel pressure test set, obviously. If this weren't in a case, it would be pretty much pain in the butt. Got my Mighty Vac vacuum thing. Got a inner tie rod set there for doing inner tie rods. Obviously, slide hammer, extra impact from back in the day. Still works, but I got a new one. Some flex tape, because it fixes everything. And some different hoses and things for evap testing, as well as hoses for my fluid evacuator. Okay, now we're over to the last section here. No explanation needed. This is the junk, but it's all good stuff. Never have too many pins and things like that, and keys and receipts and flash drives and, you know, bolts and, you know, bolts and manuals. Yep, manuals and things like that. There. This is kind of my lubricating slash wire brush slash safety glasses drawer. So, yeah, pretty self-explanatory there. This will be my pick and punch and chisel drawer. So we've got picks and punches and chisels. This is randomness, feeler gauges, spark plug gauges, measuring device, rivet gun, splices, red Scotch-Brite, all that good stuff. There is the big wrench drawer, and as well as fan clutch wrenches and very large wrenches and pulley holders and extra wrenches that I'm replacing. As we saw on the Flank Drive Plus in the other drawer, as I get a Flank Drive Plus wrench, old wrench goes here. Those will go home eventually. For now, they live there. So this is one of the cases I had to sacrifice, which was my coolant pressure tester. I had a big case for this, but it just took up too much room. So now everything's here, still sort of organized. So we've got cooling things as well as AC stuff, temperature gauge, orifice tube remover, thermometer, you know, AC dye, leak check stuff, and we have a airlift vacuum bleeding system there. We've got a scan tool drawer, so we've got the Snap-on Modus, we've got the Maxicom Alltel, got a little code reader for checking monitors and codes, and then these are all the adapters that the Alltel comes with. And then I have some stuff for the scope on the Modus. Got an amp thing, we've got the leads for the scope, all that. It's only 2-channel, which sucks, but it's better than no channels. So then we've got our cutting and drilling and taps and all that good stuff. I think this is a brake flaring tool, drill bits, you know, taps and die kind of things, more taps and dies, tubing benders, you know, screw extractor, that kind of thing, as well as the laying tools rethread kit. And lastly, we have kind of suspension slash big stuff drawer, hammers and, you know, pickle forks and different pullers and things like that. I got the harmonic balancer puller as well as a steering wheel puller in there. Old school hammer, ball joint stuff, naproxen, and some more ball joint stuff. And like I said, the box is not big enough, so we have storage underneath for all the other random things that we need, things that I keep doing after doing jobs and things like that. We've got all the clips and AC caps and some drain plugs and, you know, clips and clips and clips and, you know, things like that. Grenade pins, things like that. Got a very nice, you can tell how often it gets used by all the cobwebs and spider eggs. So all this is just like a bearing race installer kind of thing. Got all these little trays at Home Depot just for organization, but basically this is our bolt drawer. So I didn't want to waste a whole drawer with bolts and things like that. So all that is under the box. Got more bolts. Here I've got some bunch of evap testing stuff, as well as a bunch of AC washers and splices and, you know, caps and brake bleeding stuff, things like that. Mostly for evap stuff, but, you know, random other things just to fill up the slots and to keep it out of my toolbox. And last bolt drawer here with all the most common smaller size, like, you know, 10 millimeter heads and 8 millimeters and 12s and 14s and, you know, stuff like that. More of the common things that you'll lose and you'll need, you know. So I'll just keep things, you know, from different engines and things like that. Put them in here until it's full, which this one is, and then as I use them, I'll replace them from other projects. And lastly, you just have another harmonic balancer puller and installer, because the other one doesn't cover all the applications, so this kind of fills the gap on that. Okay guys, we are nearing the end. Can you feel it? No toolbox tour will be complete without a tool cart tour, because this is the stuff that gets used most often and people are interested in things like that. So on the top shelf of the cart, got some mirrors, as well as, you know, quarter, 3/8, half inch. We've got some the common torque sticks I use most often, an 80 and 100 pound. And over here on the side, we have some lights and trays. We've got some more magnetic trays. And I have this set up so it does come all the way back around and lock. I just took off the struts so that it would hang down like that. So that's pretty cool. And on the side, we've got, you know, some knives and, of course, a speaker for Pandora listening. Top here, we've got screwdrivers, which basically are pry bars. That's what they get used for, and that's why they're snap-on, because they're lifetime warranty, and I break them a lot. Here we've got the common used ratchets. These are the ones that I use every day, all day, as well as a swivel 1/4 inch and some 3/8 swivels. And then some kind of semi-deep flank drive plus sockets, you know, things for checking brake pads and tires. For the inspections, we've got a 30 inverted Torx for rotor screws for Chevys. And then, of course, all the most commonly used extensions and things like swivels and all that good stuff. So we've got all the commonly used pliers, as well as some more of these mountain wrenches and things that break all the time. We use them all the time, they break all the time. And then some, you know, kind of the same deal, but some nice ones that don't ratchet. Just basically extra leverage, because you can never have too much leverage. Boom, impact driver for the rotor screws on Hondas, little pry bars, you know, clip tool, flashlights, and then we have our impact drawer slash other things drawer. So obviously all the impacts, 3/8, half, 1/4, 3/8, all DeWalt. We've got this knuckle buster right here, which I don't use anymore because it hurts. And then this one's pretty cool. This SP Air, it's made in Japan, little kind of very fast, high RPM air ratchet. Got that blue point floodlights, pretty sweet. And hammers, spill-free funnel. This is where all the bolts and clips collect before I move them over to the storage under there. So once that's full, it'll get transferred, brake clean, you know, things like that. We've got a little flexible magnetic tool up there. Some bungees. We got some more bungees over there. And some kind of half-size sockets for those stupid lug nuts that have the plastic caps on them. And then some Gorilla It's Gorilla sockets for those locking another Gorilla socket. Okay guys, that pretty much wraps it up. I tried to go fast. One last thing, forgot about this, the big old DeWalt, super powerful 1/2 inch. There we go, boom, that one right there. That's super strong. The box is nice, like I said, it's a little small. I mean, it's a big box, but still it fills up super fast, especially when you're working on a lot of different cars and you need a lot of different tools. There's my creeper, got a little workbench, all that stuff, chemicals, you know, all that good things. Those are extra hoses. I keep my cats down there for when the scrap guy comes and pays money, gas can. Anyway, like I said, it's a nice box. It's big, but it fills up fast. So maybe even a cart bigger than that would be nice. But that is about it. Hopefully I kept this as short as I possibly could. There's the charging station. You can see how organized that is. Looks good. As well as that, organized. Very nice. Lunchbox, boom. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you like this. Look for a box like this on Craigslist or Facebook or something like that, because it is way too expensive to be buying these things brand new. Okay, and with all that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up now, and thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will try and leave links as I have time in the description to some of the tools that we saw in here today, if they are tools that you can buy on Amazon. Everything else will be like tool truck stuff, so Snap-on, Matco, things like that. But besides that, everything else is typically available on Amazon, which I do have quite a few Amazon tools in here because they are much cheaper than other stuff. So that's it. Thanks for watching.